Everybody, welcome to another episode of Epic Spiritual Fitness Plan. We are more than halfway through. We're into our second week of a 2-week program. Today's session's a little bit heavy, and it could be disturbing for people who are on the sensitive side and even people who are not on the sensitive side. So that's not my way of getting you to watch. I actually suggest that you not watch this one if you are someone who's easily disturbed or you're concerned that you might not be able to sleep at night. So, but I do want to share an idea with you that I believe is important. It's sort of in the deep recesses of our mind, and it's often fuzzy to us. But I think with 5 minutes together, we'll be able to have a lot stronger focus on it and clarity on it. And by having that focus and clarity, we're going to be able to be far more motivated than without it. So, I wanted to read something to you. It's a transcription of 3 people who, I'll start with just 2 people who were in the 9/11 attacks. They died in 9/11, and they were on the emergency, on like a 911 call from the buildings. And I just want to read to you 2 transcripts. I didn't listen, although they have it actually an audio recording, but I didn't want to get too disturbed by it. The first one, his name is Kevin Cosgrove. He's a 45-year-old father of 3. He was on the phone with emergency services when the South Tower collapsed, and one excerpt of his call went like this. Kevin said, "There's smoke. It's really bad." 911 said, "Sit tight and we'll get to you as soon as we can." Kevin says, "I know you've got a lot in the building going on, but we're up in top. Smoke rises too. Come on, I can barely breathe now. I can't see. It's really bad. It's black and arid. We're young men. We're not ready to die." 911 says, "Hello?" And Kevin says, "Hello, there's 3 of us, 2 broken windows." And then you hear, and it's transcribed, that there's a rushing sound of a collapsing building, and there are screams and the sounds of debris, and the call cuts off. The second call I wanted to read to you from 911 is a woman named Melissa Doy. She was a graduate of Northwestern University. She had dreams of becoming a ballerina, but for some reason life first took her to working for IQ Financial Systems. She was on the 83rd floor of the tower too. Melissa says, "It's very hot. I can't see. I don't see any air anymore." 911 says, "Okay." She says, "All I see is smoke." 911 says, "Okay, dear, I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. Stay calm with me. Stay calm. Listen, the call is in. I'm documenting. Hold on 1 second, please." She says, "I'm going to die, aren't I?" And 911 says, "No, no, no," repeatedly. Say your prayers, ma'am." And she says, "I'm going to die." And 911 says, "You've got to think positive because you've got to help people off the floor." She says, "I'm going to die." And the 911 call says, "Now look, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm," over and over and over again. And the last words in the transcript she says are, "Please, God." Now, I want to read to you not a non-911 call from C.C. Lyles, mother of 4, one of the flight attendants on that flight United 93, the one that was able to not allow the hijackers to get to their intended destination. She called her husband, who had the night shift as a police officer, but he was sleeping off his shift and he missed the call, and this was on his voicemail. "Hi, baby. You have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane. I'm calling from the plane. I want to tell you that I love you. Please tell my children that I love them very much, and I'm so sorry, baby. I don't know what to say. There are 3 guys. They've hijacked the plane. We've turned around, and I heard that there's planes that have flown into the World Trade Center. I hope to see your face again, baby. I love you. Bye." I have 2 more calls I want to read to you. Brian David Sweeney was a passenger on Flight 175. He left a voicemail for his wife, Julie. He says, "Jules, this is Brian. Listen, I'm on an airplane. It's been hijacked. If things don't go well and it's not looking good, I just want you to know that I absolutely love you. I want you to do good. Go have good times. Same to my parents and everybody. I just totally love you, and I'll see you when you get there. Bye, babe. I hope I'll call you." The last one I want to read to you is Sean Rooney. Sean, so he called his wife Beverly, who was overjoyed to hear his voice on 9/11. It was 9:30 in the morning, and she had assumed he had been successful in escaping from one of his office on the Twin Towers. But in fact, he was stuck on the 105th floor, and he had no way out. So this was what he says on the phone. She reported this to the New York Magazine. After long minutes of talking, he whispered, "I love you," over and over again, and then suddenly I heard this explosion. At this point, her husband was still alive. However, they both knew that the sound they was the tower starting to collapse and that they didn't have long left. I called his name on the phone over and over, said Beverly, and I just sat there huddled on the floor holding the phone to my heart. So the reason I told you all this is not just to talk about something disturbing and morbid and awful. It's definitely a wake-up call, and if you do a little bit of research online, you're going to also feel a real jolt. I don't know if you got that from my reading of it, but I definitely felt it when I was reading it. And you know, there's a book that was written by Bronnie Ware. She worked in a hospice, and she says that when she was talking to people who knew that they were going to die, they had some serious regrets, and she wrote a very famous book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And in the book, she delineates the things that people regretted the most. And the most common that she said was, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life that others expected me to have. I'll tell you another one. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I guess people who are we work and work and work, but obviously it sometimes makes us miss the more important things in life, like being with people we love and working on ourselves as people. The other one was, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. The next one was, oh shoot, I'm sorry, I lost it, guys. I'm going to go back to it. The next one was, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Old friends, I'm sure that they wanted in that room in their lives, and they didn't anymore. And the last one was, I wish I had let myself be happier, which if you notice the language, it's not I wish I had been happier, it's I wish I had let myself be happier. And I want to end with this note. You know, whether you think about it often or not, we are all going to die, right? And knowing that, if you know you're going to die, even if it's terrifying to you, whether you want to accept it or you want to just think about it in a very kind of abstract way, if you knew you were going to die, who would you call? And what would you say to that person? And what would you accomplish that you're not accomplishing? And what behavior or speech or thought pattern would you stop that you're doing? With the context of knowing that you don't know how many days you have left, and we all have an expiration date. What would you be doing differently? And I'll just share with you to close the things that I'm thinking about when I read all this, because there's no bigger eye-opener, there's no bigger motivator in the whole world to show you what perspective is, what priorities are, than to think about this. So for me, spiritually, it's definitely that I wish I was talking to God in a more informal way, more frequently. You know, I could say my prayers and I can say, you know, pray to God to get the parking spot like everyone else. But when it comes to informal speech, I want that close relationship that's coming all the time, and that's as natural as talking to anybody else. For myself, I really want to work on investing in myself in personal development and in my health. In terms of my home, I want to run a smooth home and a joyful home. And in terms of the world and the people I love and the people I don't know yet, I just want to contribute, I want to impact positively, and I want to make a good, big difference. I hope that you enjoyed, and feel free to share with me any resolutions that come to mind for you when you think about a big topic like this one. Okay, good night, everyone.